Okay, it's Friday, October 14th. This is a pre-opening SPY video. You can see here after big green outside bar yesterday, our pre-market range so far is kind of hovering near the high of the range. At the moment, we're selling off a little bit. We were up pretty high, well, near the high of yesterday, and now we're selling off. I don't know where it's going to end up. We have about an hour and let's say 15 minutes until the market opens. So we'll see where this range ends up. I am expecting follow through higher just given the big green bar, but you never know for sure. I'm going to play it kind of by the rules, so to speak, that as long as we stay above the midpoint of this bar, I'll anticipate that the up bias for today. And also you can see this green line is kind of the open of the month. The monthly bar at the moment has turned green. We don't know for sure if it's going to follow through higher or not, but you know, we took out the lows after this big red bar, and now at least for the moment we are green. So we'll see if we get follow through and further strengthen that green bar or not. In terms of the actual actionable signal, so to speak, there's really, you know, on a 3 bar, you just don't know if you're going to get 3-2 continuation. We might end up with a 3-1 bar, an inside bar. Let's say this goes lower today and closes and never reaches the high, then at that point it's an inside bar, and then the actionable signal is more on Monday. The actionable signal yesterday, like I said, if I zoom this 15-minute chart out, was really, you know, we gapped down big and the structure itself opened up and then just paused and continued. So there was really intraday structure only to the upside after the first 5 bars here, and then the actionable signals, once you took out the midpoint of the prior day, you were expecting it to at least reach the, you know, high of that range, and I had identified a big range in here. So to me, once you hit the midpoint of yesterday, you were kind of looking to take out that area. Today, the actionable signal is really just, you don't know after an outside bar, but will be biased to the upside. Should we open up here somewhat in the middle of the range, we get a big green bar or some kind of red, you know, some kind of bar that just takes out this low and then reverses, we will expect to kind of work our way up to, you know, in that case, I would buy any kind of green opening either near the bottom or after it tests the bottom and goes red to green, and expect it to test those highs, because that's the high of yesterday, and then we'll see if we get follow through. So I'd play the buy side. Again, I just suspect anyone who missed this big reversal yesterday on any pullback will probably think about buying. I think that's the logic. Again, it is possible we go down and sell off all day long, and so, you know, we'll probably just eat into this range. There are some gap areas in here that could be filled. There's no doubt about it. So that would be a big inside bar, but that, you know, that's possible. And I'll watch the opening red action here if it develops, but I wouldn't look to sell too much. Given just the big green bar, I just don't, you know, and if it's an inside day, I think we'll just stay inside this range. You know, we'll sell and probably hit some of those gap areas and just then pop up a little bit. But let's just see if we get follow through. That's what I'm going to look for today. Again, big picture wise, I described on yesterday's video how we broaden to the downside. If we follow through, we could be broadening all the way to the upside with these targets. There's a gap in here that I think is a target at 373. And this up here is more in the 380 area. And again, the big difference, just reminder from yesterday, the big difference, if I go back to the 15-minute chart, from this gap down here and why it continued in this gap down here, why it moved up, was a couple of things. First of all, on this big gap down here, where was that? Right here, this bar on the 15-minute chart, the first big bar was a red bar to the downside that then followed through. And also, you know, you can see here from upper consolidation, once we gapped down big, there was targets down here. This one, we're gapping down kind of the bottom of a big broadening area, and the opening bar was not big red. If anything, it started up a little bit, and the reversal would have taken place more in line with this purple line. And since it didn't, you know, we got follow through the upside. But again, the actionable signal was once you kind of hit the midpoint of yesterday. Today, we're just going to expect a little follow through to the upside, play for it, and then see how much continuation you get. I guess the target here would be this gap area in here. That's what I see. And again, that's more that 372 area. So let's just, and we're at 365 now. So there's definitely room to run a little bit higher. And then we'll just see how this whole gap in here. And then we'll see, if we end up this week strong a little bit and green, then you can feel comfortable holding, if you really want to be aggressive, because this will end up a shooter bar into a hammer bar, which should get some follow through into next week. And that then projects possibly, up to those highs in the 380 area. So let's see how it opens today. As always, 15-minute chart will kind of judge the opening price action relative to this pre-market range and relative to our expectations to at least move higher until something changes.